guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna install velocity stacks and a better race filter. Let's go! Well, again, let's go! Alright, let's unbox the new tuning for the bike. So, we're gonna install a DNA air filter. This one is the biggest size filter you can get for the Yamaha R1. So, this is it. So, the whole gap in the air filter box is basically filled with just filter material, so you get the most air you can get through this filter. So yeah, we're using the DNA filter. As you can see, from stock to a DNA, it's basically a 50% increase in airflow. So yeah, that's the air filter. Then we got a air filter service kit just for the longer term of the air filter. But then this hella expensive product. These are the MWR velocity stacks. And we're installing the uppers and of course the lowers. And as you can see, here are the lowers. So what this does, the Yamaha R1 has a lot of torque in the mid-range, but it's losing the top end power compared to the BMW, the Kawasaki ZX-10R and all the other bikes. And with this we will move the middle power a little bit to the top end. So we're increasing the top end power with this and we're lowering the mid-range. So with this we'll probably have a faster Yamaha R1. So yeah, let's start disassembling and switch the velocity stacks around. Let's go. So we will start with removing the seat, removing these two small side panels and then removing the tank. And I catch you guys then. Let's go. Seat is off. First side panel. Second side panel. Now we'll remove the tank. This one got 3 bolts. One over here, one down here. And one on the other side. So now we're gonna lift up the tank and then we're gonna loosen this rubber hose, also the second rubber hose, and after that we got a connector for the fuel pump, and then we got the fuel line. Fuel tank is off. So a couple days ago I already wrapped the bottom of the airbox just to get a cooler bottom of the airbox. So yeah, that's why it's gold. So now we can remove the top of this. Alright, now we can open up the airbox. So my bike was already tuned. So with the previous exhaust and the previous tune we ran a K&N filter and stock velocity stacks. So yeah, that's so as you can see, here are the velocity stacks and they move up and down just like that. So now we're gonna remove them and also remove the bottom ones, and then we'll compare them. So these are the stock velocity stacks. So now let's remove the bottom ones. So the left one and the right one, both bottom velocity stacks are removed. Let's compare them. So as you can see, these are the stock velocity stacks bottoms, and these are the MWR velocity stack bottoms. And as you can see, they are really small, or I should say really low, about 1/3 in size. And if we look at the top velocity stacks, here the size is the other way around. So the top is way bigger, and from stock they are really small. Now we have to switch these bushings around and place them on the MWR stacks. And then we can reinstall the bottom and the top. Let's go. So let's install the lower stacks. This one over there, this one over here. So the bottom stacks are installed. Let's install the top. First we need to remove all 5 of these bushings. So now we put some grease on these bushings just to get a very smooth operation system. We also have to reuse these bushings. So after we installed these small bushings, so now we're going to install the first arm. This one needs to be attached to this rod. Click. And we're going to install the top one, just like that. So now we can mount the MWR velocity stacks. So the stacks are fully mounted, so let's check if they work. As you can see, it works great. Nice. So now we can install the air filter. Make sure these little bits are in these locations, in these slots, because if you're putting it in like this, all the sand and dust will go under it. We're gonna scoop in these little things and then push in the air filter. And as you can see, we can now not pull this anymore because these bits are in the slots. So yeah, air filter is also installed. Let's reassemble the airbox. Let's go. Alright, airbox is fully installed. Let's install the tank. Alright, let's install the fuel line. Then the fuel pump connector. And then on the other side we need to connect 2 hoses. This one. Alright. Alright, fuel tank is on. Let's put back the side panels. Alright, side panels are on. Last thing to do is put back the seat. Alright, the bike is fully ready to go on the dyno. I don't know if I can do a full explanation at the dyno, but if I can't, I will do a voiceover. So for now, bike is done and we'll see you at the dyno. Let's go. Let's talk about the dyno sheet. As you can see, you see a red line and a blue line. The red line is from my previous tune with the other exhaust and the other air filter and without the MWR velocity stacks. And the blue line is with the velocity stacks and with the DNA filter and the Superbike exhaust. And as you can see, between 10 and 11,000 RPM, we see a massive dip. This is where the velocity stacks open. And this is something we need to work on because we need to make the line as straight as possible. So in the next run we will try to get this big dip out of the bike and let's see how it goes. So, second run also done, and this was a very interesting run because we tested different settings, but we lost a lot of power, about 20 horsepower or so, and yeah, that was really weird. So we tried to find it out what it was, and we installed some grippers on the air recycling system, and we also installed a O2 sensor inside the exhaust because the readings that we were getting were not precise enough. The dip is a little bit less, but the power is a little bit lost. So we do another run and see if this makes some changes and we get some better readings. As you can see, Aaron from Druijff Racing is telling me that he found basically the problem why we're losing power. As you can see, we got a big air tunnel coming from the front that's providing us fresh air from outside. And what we see was that the air tunnel was only halfway in front of the air intake of the bike. So we're basically losing 50% of the air intake because that tunnel was not placed right. So yeah, we fixed the problem. We adjusted the air tunnel and then we tried again. And yeah, we basically gained all the power back. So now we can go further with adjusting the bike and removing the dip. Run done, and as you can see we went from 166 to 195 horsepower on the wheel. So the good amount of air is what makes the horses. So what you can see in this dyno sheet, we basically almost got a flat line, and that's perfect. We tried different fueling settings and different opening times from the velocity stacks, and we tried 3 different ones, and we're now almost there, but we're adjusting one more time to get the best performance. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Yes guys, that's it. The dyno is done. Special thanks to Druijff Racing for making my bike perform so well. We're ended up with a 195.5 horsepower on the wheel. So yeah, let's take a look on the results of the dyno. As you can see, we gained a little bit of power around 10,000 RPM, and the most amount of power we gained that from 12,000 till 14,000 RPM. So we increased the top end power of the R1, and that's basically what we wanted. But we also could see that the full potential of the stacks is basically if you're doing more adjustments to the bike. So more, maybe a little bit of head work, maybe a smaller head gasket, but I'm running a stock engine, only a good tune now with some good parts, but not a built engine or adjusted engine, basically a full stock engine at the moment. The upgrades were really positive. I'm really satisfied with the results, and yeah, again, Druijff Racing did an amazing job. And if you want this to your bike too, you can click the link in my bio, book your dyno, and see how much your bike performs. So maybe in the future we'll try it on the road, make a video out of it, and see how it goes. See you in the next one.